Find yourself getting stressed about the holidays? Not sure what to get your kids for Christmas? Worried about having the money? Let's talk about all that. Welcome to Growing Together. My name's Mel. I'm an early childhood educator and primary school teacher. I'm really excited to share with you some of my knowledge and experience when it comes to raising children. So like I said, let's talk about the holidays and Christmas. What do your kids want for Christmas? What do your kids want to do over the holidays? Are you worried about those things? It's understandable that you would be. We have a little bit of a thing in our society about how much we spend on our kids over Christmas and how many cool things we do with them. But the truth is, your kids don't really care. I mean, sure, they say they care. They say that they really want these fancy things and they compare what they've got with what other kids have got. But the truth is, what your children really want is to spend time with you and to see you. I'm going to be referring today to the Raising Children Network, which is a website created by the Australian Department of Education, or Tasmanian actually, Department of Education. It's a really wonderful website that I really suggest that you go and have a look at. It gives you lots of tips and tricks when it comes to various aspects of raising children. And one of the things that I'm using today is their page about spending time with kids and making the connections and body language and what we say and how it affects our relationships with our children. I know that it's really hard during the holidays and people get really stressed about money. Like I said, that's understandable. When I was a child, my parents couldn't afford that much. We didn't get a huge amount of Christmas presents. What they prioritised was, like I said, spending time with us. They saved money so that we could go on holidays together, and that was their way of showing us the world and experiencing something with us. What would be better than spending all your hard-earned money on big glittery things would be to actually sit down with your children and select a few things that they want to do over the holidays. Whether you live in Australia or somewhere in the southern hemisphere where you get the 6-week or thereabouts summer holidays, or whether you live in the northern hemisphere and you get 2 or 3 weeks, plan some really fun activities that you could do with your kids. First of all, the fact that you are including them in the decision making will make them really happy. They'll feel like their ideas and opinions really count for something in the relationship. But also you'll know that what you've chosen together, they'll actually really enjoy because they had a hand in picking the things. If you're pretty strapped for cash, there's always something to do in your local area that either is completely free or doesn't cost a lot. For example, here where I live, we have the Botanical Gardens, which is a beautiful place for you to go for walks. They have playground areas, they have a little kiosk where you can get snacks, they have a restaurant if you want to spend a little bit more money. They have lots of different options and beautiful grounds where kids can play and run around and just spend time with you. There's also bound to be lots and lots of parks in and around your local town or city or wherever you might live. Parks are always fun because they're free and kids just love to play in parks. There's usually swing sets. A lot of parks these days have got a bike track or something similar. So if your children are a bit older, you could take a scooter or a bike along. Go riding with them if they're older. You don't have to go to the local park for that. You could go riding down the local pathways or bike path or even around the beach or lakeside, depending of course on where you live. Like I said, children love to spend the time. If you live in a major city, there's probably going to be zoos, museums, all those sorts of places that are reasonably inexpensive. You could even have outings to somewhere like a bookstore or the library. Go with them and spend time choosing some books that they would like to read. Again, if you can't afford much, go to the library. In fact, most libraries have some kind of holiday program, certainly in Australia, but I'd imagine in other parts of the world, and they're always free or very small amounts of money and always lots of fun. So really, I recommend just going to your local library. There's bound to be activities. They're a great resource to tap. Sitting down with your children and talking about what they want to do, that way you get a sense of what your child is interested in. So when it comes to actually buying them a present, you can buy them something that you know they're really going to love. Talk to them about what they really want for Christmas. They'll know better than you, no matter how well you know your kids, and they'll be really stoked that you want to talk to them about it. It's a win-win. Make those plans with your kids. Have a look at a map and talk about where you could go. Even if it's just a matter of, we're going to have an outing for today, where should we go? How long do we want to spend in the car? What will we take to do in the car? Will we take tapes or CDs to listen to? Will we play I Spy? These are all fun things that involve very little effort and very little expense from you, but involve a lot of fun for you and your child. It's all about that quality time, about building those relationships. If your children have fun with you, they will be getting something great for Christmas. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't buy them toys or books or clothes or whatever else they might want or need. If on Christmas Day you all gather around and have breakfast together, and then after breakfast you sit around the tree and open presents, that will be the thing that they will remember about Christmas. Not so much the toys, although they will enjoy those, but the actual act of being with family. When I was a child, the youngest child used to take turns in passing out the presents. It was their special job. Mum and Dad would make a tea or a coffee and sit with us, and they'd pass out the presents to us one by one. It was a really fun routine that they really enjoyed. They got to feel really important and responsible because they were in charge of the presents. We made a point of watching everyone open their present as we went along. That way you got to feel like the star of the show for a few moments, and the person that gave it to you got to feel really excited to see how happy and excited you were. For me, that's the joy of giving presents over Christmas. On that, signs of affection, hugs and kisses are so important for children, especially when they're younger. It really builds that connection and that love between the two of you. It's such an important part of bonding. So over the holidays and the Christmas period, make sure that you're giving them that love and affection. It's also really important that you are present when you are communicating with your child. It's really hard these days because everyone has a phone or some kind of mobile device that they can use to do all sorts of things. And I'm not saying never check your phone or do something other than talk to your children. Of course not. You need time to yourself as well. But when you're doing something with your kids, especially something that you've organised to do with them for the holidays, don't spend that time looking at your phone. Sure, if you're expecting a phone call, keep it on you. Or if you get a text message, check it, but don't spend the whole time playing a game or whatever. Be present with your child and actually spend that time with them. Children really love to see you watching them and be able to share their enjoyment with you. It tells them that they are important to you, more so than the device. If you need to have it on you because someone's sick or something's going on, tell your child that. Make sure they understand it so that they don't feel like you just care about the phone instead of them. Kids can understand an amazing amount of stuff, as I'm sure everybody knows. Let them know what's going on. They want to know where you're at. When you're out with your child, especially for a pre-arranged activity, try to look as though you're having fun, even if it's the most boring thing you've ever done. If it's something your child really wants to do with you, you just need to fake it till you make it. So think about what you do with your children and not just what you buy them. Try and spend time with your children over the holidays. Think about doing stuff they want to do, and think about organising that with them before you go out to do it. Try not to be on your phone all the time and be present with your child. That's all I really have to say about these topics today. I really hope that you found this video interesting and valuable. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel. Don't forget, I'll link the Raising Parenting Network website in the description below. See you later.